Hello everyone, I'm Neverdot. Welcome to my channel. This is a big one. I misjudged myself when I drew this comic. Because in this comic that I'm drawing here, last year I did an epic Halloween comic where I had a street covering 3 panels. It's just a broad, whatever you call it, spread. Each panel sort of just continued the image. And I really just did a large image and then just sliced it, overlaid, whatever. And then I had all the different characters and all the different costumes, and I wanted to do that exactly the same thing again this year for Halloween. And I started into it, got my perspective going, brainstorming sort of how I wanted the buildings to be laid out, because I didn't want the exact same setup. It's got to be visually different from the previous year, because I don't want you guys thinking, you know, this guy's just like recycling the same stuff. No. So yeah, just getting my perspectives in line. Sometimes when you sketch your perspective-y drawing without, you know, actually pointing points down, and then you actually do draw with the points in place, you find out some of these buildings don't line up properly. And I think I had that with my blue sketch lines, which you can see sort of hidden in the background there. It doesn't quite perfectly line up, but I think I'm sorting it out. Now, often with this kind of a thing, I start to get overwhelmed with the necessary amount of details that I have to ram into the scene, because like, oh no, to make this look engaging and interesting and not just a bunch of 3D rectangles, you're gonna have to jam in a bunch of, I don't know, trim and eavesdrops and all these things on the buildings to make it look busy. And it's gonna take forever. And when I think back to last year, did I totally do this in the one night that I was doing the comic? Then I realized, no, I think I spent like 2 to 3 days on it. I think that's what I did. I think I was doing a Halloween poster, and then the night of the comic that I had to draw, I realized, wow, I don't really have time to do the comic. I'm just going to use my poster as the comic, just put captions on it, and that'll be good. It was good. But I realized this year, it is the night that I'm drawing the comic, and wow, I definitely don't have time to do what I was thinking of doing, so I better bail on this idea. I'm not going to bail on the background thing, so I am going to draw a large background, detailed and sort of detailed. One of the things that makes it, unfortunately, busy and long is the necessary amount of decorations for Halloween. So I was like, what if this is like a couple days before Halloween, before we put up any decorations? But also, listen guys, there's a problem. There's a big problem. There's a big problem with this whole comic, this whole idea of like showing all these kids in their costumes and then going out on the street and getting their candy and all of that. What do you think it might be? Yeah, exactly. Halloween is kind of canceled this year. It is COVID, and I can't even go out for Halloween. I can't get the candy that I usually get. Not that I would go out for Halloween and go door to door and get candy. I mean, didn't do that last year. Yeah, this year people can't go out. Maybe in some places you can, but certainly where I live, we're in something called a hot zone. Unfortunately, it has nothing to do with the attractiveness of the people that live here. But yeah, it means you can't go out and do Halloween. And lo and behold, Halloween came and went. And yeah, nobody came to my house. And I bought all these chocolate bars for nothing. They're not just for me. Yeah. Yeah, so if I'm gonna, I didn't feel comfortable drawing a comic, showcasing, getting people excited about the idea of going out, dressing up for Halloween, and like the excitement of normal Halloween life, and then the cold hard reality for a lot of people that, oh, bummer, I wish I could do that. I can't do that. So, as I was drawing this, that kept rattling around in my head that I can't draw the scene that I was wanting to draw, because it's just going to bum people out. It's going to remind them how they're locked in, how they can't do anything, and it's not great. So the people of the Neverdot world are not limited by this, actually. They don't have the virus poking around, and even if they did, they're all different species. They're not even in the same kingdoms, so they wouldn't all be vulnerable to the disease. So meh, what do we do? We're going to get them to respectfully not show us all the fun they're having, so we don't get too envious. But we are going to talk briefly about Halloween in this comic, so we do need to put in the minimum of details to give the sense of it's a fall time on the street here. So we'll put, sprinkly leaves and stuff, but we won't put up the Halloween decorations, partly because it's getting late. This is like the longest comic drawing I had done in a while, and I think I even had a crash like here where I had to redraw. Oh no! Hey artists, have you ever done this? Have you ever put a lot of effort into drawing something for a while? And then, I've sketched this little pothole. And then I realize, wait, did I just draw on the wrong layer? And now I can't separate them. I totally did the sketch on the color layer, messed up. So back up, undo. Be careful what layer you're on, because sometimes you can mess up. And in Krita, sometimes, I don't know, I've got key bindings on my Wacom control remote. Where is it? This remote control for the Wacom Cintiq. And one of these guys, if I push it while pushing something on the keyboard, I wind up merging the layer I'm on with the layer above it. And if I don't realize that is a disaster, because I've just merged my line art layer with my color layer. And if I don't pick up on that, that's not undoable after about 40 strokes. Then I'd have to reload or something. So that has happened a couple times. Usually I catch it before anything disastrous happens, but once or so it's gone to the point where I had to reload. Anyways, I'm using my oak brush to do the leaves here. I just want a different shape of leaf, and my other more roundy leaf brush doesn't support the color because it has its own color, which is not good. I should probably change that. I should probably make a new leaf brush that is more in agreement with my senses. In this comic, we're going to be putting the dragons. Dragons are the ones that steal your candy every Halloween, because that's what they do. They subsist on candy. They are candy sores, candy vores, sugar, glucovores, something like that. They primarily subsist on sugary items, and they are in fact the ones that founded Halloween. They are the ones that came up with the idea. They said to everybody, you know what would be fun? Go door to door, ask for candy, collect it, amass large amounts of it on your person, on a particular day and time that we all know it's going to be. Yeah, just burden yourselves with tremendous amounts of candy. We'll just do it once a year. We just need to fit. I mean, you probably can only take it once a year. They founded Halloween. And then on Halloween night, they wait until later in the night. But they will swoop down and totally rob you blind of your candy. And you gotta run and hide. So you have a few hours to get your stuff. But after that, they come out. They fill the skies. And they're like, dive bombing kids. And then grabbing their candy. They'll even give out candy earlier in the night. Just to fatten up the kids. Because they're not monsters. They're nice people. But they just do need their candy. So they're not going to hurt you, but they will steal your candy. So that's what dragons do in the Never Dot world. They're nice people, nice citizens. They live in the same world. They have their own houses and stuff. They have their own streets. But yeah, they will totally rob you blind of your candy. Everybody knows this. It's not a huge fear, but if you have candy, you don't want them to steal it. So they're going to run. It's pretty exciting, actually. So to an observer, it would seem horrifying. But to everybody else, it's just business as usual. And they celebrate the Candy Festival, whatever they call it, every year at a fixed time of day. So the dragons know exactly when they need to pop out and hunt you down. Some of them get a little bit of a jump on it a bit early, but that's their problem. Whatever. So we're going to add the characters now after all of that background art drawing, and I think I probably forgot to put in some details. I could have done more, definitely, but I wasn't planning on making this into a poster or anything. So yeah, I would have put more effort into it if it was going to be a poster. I'm telling a little sub-story here with Tommy and Anita. Tommy and Anita are, of course, an OTP. They're a couple. Or at least they're trying to be a couple. Tommy wants to be a couple. I don't know if Anita's quite picked up on the signals yet, but Anita's a really good friend. She hasn't friend zoned Tommy, maybe? I don't know. We're wishing them the best. But yeah, whatever. The dragon here is going over his blueprints for how to capture all the kids. And which streets are most likely to have the most heavily burdened kids. They're easier to catch. Sometimes dragons will even offer larger bags to get candy in. Bags that easily rip if they're overburdened. Why is Logan... Yeah, I don't know why Logan has a shovel. I don't know why Jenny has an umbrella. Last year it did rain during Halloween, which was terrible. Because the ground was covered in leaves and the ground was also covered in water. That's a very slippery combination. I'm not saying that I slipped and fell, but I'm not saying I didn't. So dragons in the Never Doubt world are highly varied. There are many different species of these things. And basically, each time I draw them, they're a different species because I'm not consulting the shape and form of the previous one that I drew. So each one is just going to take on its own nature. And if you guys like this particular dinosaur, I'm going to have to go catalog it and remember it. So I need some sort of, not dinosaur, dragon archaeologist, biologist to categorize the shape and everything. As we all know, winged dinosaurs are dragons, and if you don't have wings, then you're a dinosaur. So we have a lot of dinosaurs here. There's a pea dinosaur, there's a carrot dinosaur over there, mushroom dinosaur, and yeah, those are clear. You're a dinosaur. Did you know that? Unless you have wings, in which case you're a dragon, right? Don't get confused. Be proud of your dragon heritage if you happen to be winged. I think that's the only difference. I'm not a linguist, but I think that's the differences in the different species of things on Earth. This is not Earth. This is the Never Doubt land. We really need to come up with a name for the planet here. A friend of mine told me that. This place doesn't have a name. I do sometimes read. I don't read. I browse the Reddit. There's a website called Reddit, and for a long time I didn't check it out. But then I checked it out, and it's got like all sorts of stuff on it. There's like a story world building subreddit. And then I read some of the things. They're all kind of the same, where everybody's like talking about their world and their storytelling, and I get like, I don't know, super irritated with it. I don't know why. I don't know. Whenever I'm reading anything where people have made up names for places and stuff, it just feels really pretentious. I don't know why, because I'm the one who's doing that too. So am I annoying? I don't know. If you're giving something a name like, this is Downtown Ore, where the Electrons have jumped into the Squareon hold of the Great Overseer, it just sounds annoying to listen to. All of the made up everythings. But you gotta give names to things, and that's necessary. And I commend all the people on the world building subreddit. No offense, please. I am one of you, but for some reason, I don't know, I'm just triggered by hearing the constant everything made up stuff. Because it's just, I don't know, it just annoys me so much. I shouldn't be, and it makes no sense. I have like literally folders of notes and stuff on my world that nobody's ever going to see. And I've given names to... Have I given names? Okay. Cut this part out. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this longer form video because it took me so long to do. I'm sorry we do not have Halloween this year. I do hope next year in 2021 we can have a fully creative and awesome Halloween and where we can get out and do amazing stuff. But until then, keep drawing in your home and honing your skills and stay safe. So thank you guys so much and see you guys next time.